Hello students, in this video we will discuss about the borrowed funds and its various types. Borrowed funds, as we have already discussed in the first video, that these are the funds raised through loans or borrowings. The sources for raising borrowed funds include loans from commercial banks or financial institutions, issues of debentures, bonds, public deposits and trade credit. Such sources provide funds for a specified period on certain terms and conditions and have to be repaid after the expiry of that period. A fixed rate of interest is paid by the borrowers on such funds. At times, it puts a lot of burden on the business as a payment of interest is to be made even when the earnings are low or when loss is incurred. Generally, borrowed funds are provided on the security of some fixed assets. Out of so many types of borrowed fund, we will start with the debentures. So let's see what are debentures. Debentures are the important instrument for raising the long-term debt capital. A company can raise funds through issue of debentures which bear a fixed rate of interest. The debenture issued by a company is an acknowledgement that the company has borrowed a certain amount of money which has to be repaid in the future. So let's see the definition. In corporate finance, the term is used for a medium to long-term debt instrument used by large companies to borrow money. A debenture is like a certificate of loan or a loan bond evidencing the fact that the company is liable to pay a specified amount with interest, and although the money raised by the debenture becomes a part of the company's capital structure, it is an important source of borrowed fund. Means after the maturity date, the company has to return back the principal amount along with the interest to its debenture holders. Now, what is zero interest debentures or ZID? ZID or zero coupon bond or deep discount bond do not carry an explicit rate of interest. The difference between the face value of the bonds and its purchase price is the return to the investors. It means that debentures are given to its holders at a lower price printed on the debenture certificate, but at the time of its redeem, the price that is printed on the certificate is paid back to its holders, means to the debenture holders. That's why it is written zero, or it is known as zero interest debentures. Means no interest is being calculated or being paid, but the discount that is offered at the time of the purchase is the interest given to the debenture holders. Now, coming to the type of debentures. Debentures issued are of various types. Let's see what are they. Debentures are classified on the basis of security, redemption, records, convertibility and priority. On the basis of security, it is classified into unsecured and secured. On the basis of records, registered and bearer. On the basis of convertibility, convertible and non-convertible. And on the basis of priority, first debentures and second debentures. We will not study about redeemable and non-redeemable debentures. Now we will see all these types of debentures one by one in detail. The first one is secured and unsecured debentures. Secured debentures are those debentures which create a charge on the asset of the company, therefore or thereby mortgaging the assets of the company. Unsecured debentures, on the other hand, do not carry any charge or security on the assets of the company. So, if the issuer fails on payment of either the principal or interest amount, in case of secured debentures, his asset can be sold to repay the liability to the investors, whereas it is not applicable in case of unsecured debentures. Now coming to the registered and bearer debentures. Registered debentures are those debentures that are registered with the company. The amount of such debenture is payable only to those debenture holders whose name appears in the register of the company. These can be transferred only through a regular instrument of transfer, but in case of bearer debentures, the transfers are done only made by the delivery, and names are not recorded in the register of the company. Now coming to the convertible and unconvertible debentures. Convertible debentures are those debentures that can be converted into equity shares after the expiry of a specified period, whereas non-convertible debentures are those which cannot be converted into equity shares. Hence, they offer a higher return than the convertible one. Now, it's first debentures and second debentures. Debentures that are repaid before any debentures are known as first debentures, and the second debentures are which are paid after the first debentures have been paid back. So, based on the priority of the redemption, these debentures are known as first and second. Now we are moving on to the next type of borrowed fund, that is bonds. Let's see what are bonds. Bonds are similar to debentures, as you can see that again they are the debt security in which the authorized issuer owes the holder a debt and is obliged to repay the principal and interest at a later date, that is after the maturity of the bonds. It is generally issued by the public authorities, credit institutions, companies and supranational institutions in the market. But bonds are more secured as compared to the debentures. Debentures are issued and purchased only on the credit worthiness of the issuing party, and the interest rate offered on the bond is less as compared to the debentures. Now let's move on to the next source, that is trade credit. Let us see what does it mean. Trade credit is an important external source of working capital financing. It is a short-term credit extended by the suppliers of goods and services in the normal course of business to a buyer in order to enhance sales. Trade credit arises when a supplier of goods and services allows customers to pay for goods and services at a later date. Cash is not immediately paid, and deferral of payment represents a source of finance. Or we can say that trade credit is a credit extended by one trader to another for the purchase of goods and services. It facilitates the purchase of supplies without immediate payment. It is granted to those customers who have reasonable amount of financing standing and goodwill. The volume and period of credit extended depends on the factors such as reputation of the purchasing firms, financial position of the seller, volume of purchase, past record of payment, and degree of competition in the market. The terms of trade credit may vary from one industry to another and from one person to another. After trade credit, it is public deposits. The deposits that are raised by the organizations directly from the public are known as public deposits. Rates of interest offered on public deposits are usually higher than any other deposits in the bank. Public deposit, we can say that, is the source of fund for private and non-banking companies. It means to accept fund from public in the form of deposits. Any person who is interested in depositing money in an organization can do so by filling up a prescribed form. The organization in return issues a deposit receipt as an acknowledgement of the debt. Public depositors can take care of both medium and short-term financial requirements of the business. Companies generally invite public deposits for a period up to 3 years. The acceptance of public deposits is regulated by the central bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India. There are other ways of taking borrowed funds. These they can be termed as the loans. A business organization can take various types of loans from banks or from any of the financial or commercial institutions. So, in this chapter, we will study the types of loans, means from the sources of loans. That is, either they can take the loans from commercial bank. Commercial banks extend loans to firms of all sizes and in many ways, like cash credits, overdrafts, term loans, purchase or discounting of bills, and issue of letter of credit. The rate of interest charged by bank depends on the various factors such as the characteristics of the firm and the level of interest rates in the economy. The loan is repaid either in lump sum or in the installments. Bank credit is not a permanent source of funds. Though banks have started extending loans for longer periods, generally such loans are used for medium to short periods. The borrower is required to provide some security or create a charge on the assets of the firm before a loan is sanctioned by a commercial bank. In the same way, various financial institutions established by the government are there to provide loans to various business establishments along with providing financial, managerial and technical advice and consultancy to these business firms. The loans from the financial institutions is considered suitable when large funds for longer duration are required for expansion, reorganization and modernization of an enterprise. Now we have come to the end of the chapter 8, that is sources of business finance. In these two lecture videos, you have, after watching these two videos, you have come to know the meaning of the business finance, its nature, its importance and its classification, specifically based on the ownership, that is owner's fund and borrowed fund, and you have come to know about the various types of owners as well as borrowed fund and their concepts. So finally we are winding up the chapter 8. You all are requested to make the notes of the contents, the topics taken in these two videos. Thank you to you all.